The whispers from beneath my floorboards promised to make me one of them. It started with the tapping. Light at first, almost polite, like a finger gently rapping beneath the wooden floor of my bedroom. I remember laughing the first night it happened, assuming it was the building settling or maybe a rodent trying to find warmth. I lived alone in a creaky old house at the edge of town, a place so forgotten even the maps barely bothered to mark it anymore. It was the kind of house people drove past without a second glance, the kind of house that had memories soaked into its bones, memories that didn't belong to me. The tapping grew bolder as nights passed. It changed from polite to insistent, a rhythmic thudding that echoed beneath my mattress, as if someone, or something, was trapped down there and getting impatient. I tore up the floorboards one morning in a panic, fully expecting to find a trapped animal or a broken pipe. But there was nothing. Just solid earth, dry and cracked like it hadn't been touched by life in years. I patched the boards back, told myself it was all in my head, that I was just lonely. The mind does cruel things when left to rot in silence. 3 nights later, the whispers began. They weren't words at first, more like sighs or the rustle of dead leaves scraping across forgotten ground. They seemed to rise from the cracks, curling around my ears as I lay frozen in bed, each breath of sound colder than the last. Then, they began to speak. At first, it was just my name, drawn out in a long, broken moan. But soon, they said more. They promised things. Promised warmth, promised belonging. They said I didn't have to be alone anymore. All I had to do was let them in. I tried to fight it. I moved my bed to the living room. I slept in my car. I even spent a few nights at a motel, but no matter where I went, I heard them. Beneath the car tires, under the thin carpet of the motel room, their voices followed, desperate, pleading, charming. I barely slept. I barely ate. Every moment felt stretched thin, brittle, like my mind would snap if I pulled at it too hard. Last night, I made the mistake of answering. I didn't mean to. I swear I didn't. But I was so tired, so hungry for the sound of another voice, even a whisper from the darkness. They asked me a question in their brittle, crackling way. "Are you ready?" And without thinking, I whispered back. "Yes." The floorboards immediately split open, wide and gaping like a mouth. A smell poured out, the stink of rot, of forgotten things buried too deep for memory. Cold hands, dozens of them, shot out from the earth, grabbing my ankles, pulling me down toward the yawning black. I screamed, I fought, but my body felt heavy, useless, like the house itself wanted to consume me. Somehow, I wrenched free and scrambled away, but not before I saw them. They were pale and eyeless, their mouths stitched into crooked smiles, their bodies twisted and broken in unnatural ways. They didn't move like people, they twitched and jerked like puppets on fraying strings. And even now, I can still hear their voices from the cracked boards, sweet, inviting, patient. Tonight, the whispers are louder. They don't ask anymore. They command. Come back. Finish what you started. Be ours. I don't know how much longer I can resist. My body aches for rest. My mind fractures more with every hour. I can already feel the house shifting beneath me, not a house anymore, but a living thing, breathing slow and deep, waiting for me to slip. And when I do, when I finally give in and the floor swallows me whole, I don't think there'll be anything left to save. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the house was never meant to be a shelter, never meant to be lived in. Maybe it was just a trap with walls, a giant mouth camouflaged as a home, waiting for someone desperate and lonely enough to listen. I can feel it now, deeper than fear, this heavy certainty blooming in my chest like a second heartbeat. It waits. It hungers. And it knows me now. It knows my name, my voice, my scent. There is no hiding from it anymore. Last night, the floorboards didn't just whisper. They sang. Hello, humming lullaby, like a mother coaxing her child back into her arms. The tune was wrong, off-key, but terrifyingly beautiful, like it had been crafted to snare my mind. I found myself standing over the broken floor in the dead of night, the jagged edges of the wood framing that gaping, black pit. I don't remember getting out of bed. I don't remember walking. It's like something lifted me, guided me in my sleep. My feet ached as though I had been standing there for hours. And the longer I stared into the darkness, the more I could see. Shapes moved below, hunched, spindly things dragging themselves across an endless cavern, their heads craned upward, waiting. One of them saw me. Its mouth stretched open impossibly wide, showing a mess of shattered teeth and a tongue that was wrong, long and twitching, tasting the air like a snake. Its hands clawed at the dirt, pulling it closer inch by inch. The others followed. Hundreds of them. Thousands. All crawling toward the sliver of light leaking through the floorboards. Toward me. I slammed the boards back into place. Nailed them down until my hands bled. I think I screamed for hours. I must have, because by morning my throat was raw and my neighbors, if I can even call them that, had left strange notes taped to my door. Keep it down. Get help. You're not safe here. That last one wasn't signed. It wasn't even written in ink. It was carved into the paper itself, deep enough that the letters flaked away when I touched them. Tonight, the boards breathe. I can see it, the wood rising and falling like the chest of a sleeping animal. The cracks between the planks leak a cold, fetid air that curls into the room like grasping fingers. Sometimes, if I listen hard enough, I can hear my own voice whispering from beneath. Pleading. Begging me to join. Telling me it will be painless. That there will be peace. But I know it's a lie. I know what they do to you down there. I saw their faces, or what's left of them. Hollowed out, emptied of anything that could be called human. They are puppets now, sewn into the will of whatever ancient thing breathes through these walls. I thought about running. About grabbing my keys and never looking back. But when I tried, the door wouldn't open. The windows wouldn't break. The house has me now. It doesn't just want me anymore, it owns me. Every creak of the floorboards, every groan of the wood, feels like a command I can't disobey. A few minutes ago, the lights flickered and died. I sit now in the pale glow of my dying phone screen, writing this because I need someone, anyone, to know what happened here. To remember me when the house finally takes what it's been promised. My fingers tremble as I type, and from the corner of my eye, I see the boards beginning to crack again. Wider this time. They're not waiting anymore. They're coming. And this time, I might just let them. And this time, I might just let them. Because fighting feels like dragging my own corpse through tar. The house hums now, it's not just in the floorboards, it's in the air, the walls, the very blood in my veins. A low, throbbing pulse that matches the rhythm of my heart, a rhythm that feels less and less like my own. I can't remember what it felt like to live without that hum. I can't remember the sound of silence. Even blinking feels like surrender, a tiny death, an offering. I tried boarding up the pit again. Hammered and hammered until my arms felt like wet cloth, but every time I turned my back, the boards splintered and peeled away like rotting skin. It's not wood anymore. It's flesh, warm, sticky, and breathing. I swear when I put my ear to the floor, I can hear a heartbeat louder than my own, deep and terrible, pounding against the earth like a giant trap just beneath the surface. The faces have changed too. No longer are they just wretched shadows clawing upward. Now, I recognize them. People I knew. Faces from my childhood. My mother, my best friend from school, even the old woman who ran the corner store. But they're wrong, their smiles are too wide, their eyes hollow and bottomless. They call my name with voices that sound like breaking glass and crumpled paper. And I answer without meaning to. Whispering back until my throat is raw and my lips are bleeding. I found something new today, a mirror hidden in the attic behind a wall that shouldn't have existed. I don't know why I looked. Some primal urge, a call from the house itself, guiding my hands to tear through the plaster and dust. The glass wasn't clean, it was cracked and spiderwebbed with grime, but in it, I saw myself. Or something pretending to be me. Its eyes were wrong. Too dark, too deep. And when I smiled, it didn't. It grinned, slowly peeling back its gums to reveal blackened teeth. Then it pressed its palm against the other side of the mirror, and I swear to God, I felt it against my own. Now, even my reflection isn't mine. Tonight, I can hear them whispering louder. The cracks between the boards have widened, gaping like wounds, and I see fingers, long, skeletal fingers, clawing their way into my world. There's no point in fighting anymore. The house owns me. Maybe it always did. Maybe I was just the latest offering in a chain stretching back longer than memory itself. There's a knock at the door now. Gentle, almost polite. A child's knock. But I know better. I know if I open it, it won't be anyone human standing there. Maybe it will wear a familiar face. Maybe it will call me son or friend or love. But it won't be real. None of this is real anymore. The world outside has crumbled away, eaten piece by whatever ancient, starving thing rules this place. I can feel them behind the door. They're a breath, hot and sour, seeping through the keyhole. The hum has risen to a shriek now, a constant screaming pressure that burrows into my skull and worms through my mind. The boards snap open like a mouth yawning wide. And I I take a step forward. Because the truth is, I was never supposed to leave. I was just another piece of bait, dangling for the next fool who comes looking for a cheap home with a history. The house chose me. And soon, I'll be one of them, another smiling face beneath the floorboards, another voice whispering from the cracks, calling someone else's name. So if you ever see a house for sale too cheap, too empty, sitting like a wound in the middle of nowhere, don't step inside. Don't even look at it. Because it already knows you. And once it does, you'll never be truly alone again. Not ever.